as you just saw, that was my rather badly done trailer. And I apologise in advance if I sound awful and discombobulated and still ill. Have been for the past 2 weeks, so this is going to be a bit coffee. If that's even a word. Here we have my current state of the arena. I remodeled the arena and textured it along with the bloodstains and spike barriers. Now, these little dudes here, which look rather plain right now, were meant to be moving and dancing, and they do, but they don't. They do because the matinee is all set up and it is set to play. As I'll show you. Ta-da. But it doesn't. Don't know why. It did one time and then it never does, and sometimes it does. And sometimes it doesn't. And I really don't know why. Anyway, reason these blood splats are where they are is that when the traps spawn, they sort of wrap themselves onto the traps because they're decals. I'll show you in a minute. If I press play now, the music will start and I won't be able to hear a thing. Now, I had an issue with health in the previous build. The spells weren't working, etc. To get around this, I just made it check which player character it was when it was hitting it, and then it would cast to the correct player. Because the issue was that before it was just casting to the player blueprint, this guy, but since both players are using it, it couldn't decipher the difference. There's an issue with this though, in that you can walk into your own spell and kill yourself. And so what I should have done is created sorry about that. Should have created a check somehow as to see if it was overlapping with the caster and then ignoring that or something, but I didn't really know how to do it. And it's the same with the weapons, so often you can sort of walk into your own sword and stab yourself. It's kind of amusing. So if you walk backwards, you're fine. It doesn't seem to work, but I suppose it's totally a mechanic that's meant to happen. What else? Yes. Obviously the sound effects and everything are in now, of which I sort of found from various places and manipulated to sort of work better. All the spells have sounds. None of the animations are in because, well, when I was trying to get the movement one to import, it wouldn't. And I don't know why. Unreal seems to have this thing against importing anything. So hold on, if we press play and... Actually, wait, before we do that, let's mute the music. Where's autoplay? Auto activate. Just turn this off. So as you can see, it's because the traps spawn randomly. If I walk back so we can see, the blood will go over them. I'll load up one of them in a minute just to show you how they work, and this just sort of makes them look a bit better, I suppose. Hold on, if I go to blood, and then let's load up one of these, for example. Simply the blood texture, and then I'm using the alpha for opacity and spec, so that only the blood bit is shiny. But it makes all this white part, I'm pointing at my screen here, all the white part transparent, so that it shows as it does on the floor. And because it's a decal, it wraps around everything that's available, and I just killed myself with my own sword. That's the current state of my game. It's nowhere near where I wanted it to be. Having been ill, pretty much bedridden for so long, it's completely demotivated me. I originally wanted my little character to look a lot like a little fat gladiator, to be funny and everything to be a lot prettier, but I haven't really had the motivation, and I've been working on one of the other modules as well, more specifically Matt's, and I saw this one sort of brushed under the rug a bit, and I've just been completely unmotivated to want to do the work, but I think I finally got there, kind of. Another issue is lighting. It's a bit plain and there's nothing much to it. There's obviously the fire effects and the lighting from the spells and weapons, but that's it. And the continuous death sound, which is amusing. It might not pick that up in the video. And oh yes, of course, another bug. Well, I don't know if it's not a bug. It's just something I didn't get around to doing or forgot to fix. You have to have two controllers plugged into play. By default, keyboard is player 1. I'm using my keyboard now, as you can hear. But you can also it also uses the first controller that's plugged in. This is here, as you can hear, and then the second one goes to the other player. But it would be nice if you could just have one controller plugged in and use keyboard for player 1, controller for player 2. It's not a huge issue, but it's still awkward because most people don't own two controllers. And I've had to borrow flatmates ones to make it work. And playing a two-player game by yourself is certainly interesting. But I should have fixed that, but I never got around to it. I think I was too busy trying to make it look better, in quotes, to remember to do it. But yeah, here we go.